ChatGPT can now talk and listen at the same time, like a real person. That happened today. And later, a tiny chip helps blind people read again, and Samsung posts a profit number so big it beat Nvidia and Apple. It is Thursday, July 9th. This is Innover, 5 stories that actually moved today. Let's go. Innover Brief 1. ChatGPT goes live voice. OpenAI just gave ChatGPT a live voice. It is called GPT Live. The big deal is it can talk and listen at the exact same time. Old voice mode made you wait your turn. This one does not. You can cut in, it can cut in, it feels like a real chat. When a question gets hard, it quietly hands that part to a bigger model called GPT 5.5 in the background. In tests, people liked it better about 3 times out of 4. This is the kind of thing that makes talking to a computer feel normal. And that matters more than any single feature. Innover Brief 2. Grok 4.5 chases Claude. So OpenAI made talking better. Over at Elon's camp, they were busy trying to catch the best brain in the game. SpaceXAI released Grok 4.5. Elon calls it Opus class, which means he thinks it can hang with the very best models out there. They built it with Cursor, the popular coding tool that xAI bought for $60 billion. It is a giant, about 1.5 trillion parts under the hood. And it is cheap, roughly $2 in and $6 out per million words. Cheaper and near the top is how you win over developers. That is the whole fight right now. Innover Brief 3. A chip that restores sight. Okay, enough about money and rockets. This next one is about your eyes, and it is the one I promised you. A team at Stanford built a tiny chip that goes inside the eye. It is for people losing their sight to macular degeneration, a common cause of blindness as we get older. The chip sits on the back of the eye and sends signals to the brain in place of the dead cells. In tests, people who could not read before can now read again. That is not a small thing. That is giving someone back a piece of their world. Innover Brief 4. Samsung's monster profit. Chips again, but now let's talk cold hard cash. Samsung just posted about $58 billion in profit for 3 months. That is up around 1,810% from last year. Not a typo. The reason is simple. Everyone building AI needs memory chips, and Samsung makes them. It even beat Nvidia and Apple. The AI boom is minting money for the folks selling the parts. Innover Brief 5. Apple loses in Europe. Last one, and it is a courtroom drama. Apple had a rough day in Europe. A top European court just told Apple no. Apple tried to argue it should not fall under Europe's strict new tech rules, the Digital Markets Act. The court disagreed, so the App Store and iPhone stay under those rules. In short, that means more open app stores and more choices for people in Europe. The theme today was simple. AI is moving into your voice, your medicine, and the money machine behind it all. More and more of these stories are AI reaching into one more part of life. We track every one. Subscribe and watch the shift with us.